Topping the news, Election Day 2020 in just 2 more hours at the polls. Millions of Americans in Texas and across the country decide who should be president. Polls close at 7 o'clock tonight, so you still have a couple of hours to line up and cast your ballot. This is a live look from Air 11 over Toyota Center. That site has seen a steady stream of cars all day for drive-through voting. Pretty quiet right now. Well, hello there. It is good to be with you on this election day. I'm Mia Gradney. There is so much to walk you through in what is an unprecedented election with historic voter turnout. We'll check in with several polling sites, including the Toyota Center. It is the only drive-through location that we just showed you today in Harris County. We're also explaining how we will call races tonight as results come in. And of course, we will check in with the presidential candidates. Plus, we'll have a look at other key races in Texas. We have the Houston area covered for you with news crews in every corner of the area, bringing you Election Day developments. Leading us off is Matt Doherty. He is live at the West Gray Multi-Services Center, a traditionally popular polling place. What's traffic been like today, Matt?
Yeah, Mia, right on the other side of this fence, you'll see the Biden camp this hour. Then across the street, you've got all the Trump supporters. We've been here for several hours now, and things have been pretty civil, to say the least. We've only seen one real argument break out so far. Yes, there are cheers and there are flags, honks from cars as they pass. Earlier today, we caught this glimpse of a peaceful discussion between opposing parties.
Why were the bars open? They opened the bars before the church.
But those are the discussions that we have to have so we can understand each other, all right?
Now, when it comes to voting, I will tell you that you're not going to have to wait long to cast a ballot here. Voters have been going in, coming out of the West Gray Multi-Service Center very quickly tonight. There is still time. If you haven't cast a vote, you want to do so. The Multi-Service Center here is open until 7 o'clock. You have to be in line, though, but you can still cast your vote. There's time. Mia, back to you.
Good to know things are moving along and are peaceful. Matt Doherty, thank you. Toyota Center is the only drive-through voting location in Harris County today. There were originally going to be 10 locations, but late last night, the Harris County clerk announced there would only be one. Sherman Chow is live at Toyota Center. Sherman, are a lot of people still using the drive-through option?
I don't know that I would say a lot. You can take a look behind me right now. You can see this is the Tundra Garage, which services the Toyota Center, and it's relatively quiet. There have been no lines, no vehicles backed up onto the street during the time we have been here. Now, those we spoke to who used that drive-through option really liked it, said it was fast and easy. Those worried about COVID thought this was a safer option. The county clerk deciding on this one drive-through location because it met the federal judge's view that buildings, not tents, should be used on election day.
Pulling in, they ask you some questions, they take your ID, and then they give you a tablet and you vote.
Okay, so you never left the car?
No, ma'am. Never left the car at all.
I'd seen the pre-voting drive-through, but I didn't realize it was going to be on the election day. So
Excellent, okay.
And it was pretty simple.
That's Man U, Mike Winters there, referring to the early vote, which did have 10 drive-through locations. And today, the clerk, who is very active on Twitter, reminding folks that if you voted drive-through early, your vote does count. Those were the rulings in 2 high-profile legal challenges. So if you've already voted, drive-through or not, no need to come here. You won't get to vote again. He posted that with a GIF which says, "Did I stutter?" Chris Hollins's tweets often filled with GIFs and memes, which, resonate with the younger voters. We'll talk a little bit about that coming up at 5:30. Back to y'all.
He has a sense of humor. Can't wait to see and learn more. Thank you so much, Sherman. Well, concerned about wait times in these last few hours, remember, you can check just how long it will take before you head to the polls. Visit harrisvotes.com/locations for real wait time data. Leave no ballot behind. A federal judge ordered postal inspectors to sweep some facilities across the U.S. today, including Houston. This is to ensure that no ballots are left behind and that they are delivered and counted in a timely fashion. Other sweeps were conducted in several major cities, including Philadelphia, Detroit, and Atlanta. More than 1.4 million people have already voted by mail or in person in Harris County leading up to today. And now the election officials are trying to turn out 1 million registered voters who have yet to cast their ballot. Standing by live from NRG, which is Election Central tonight, is our Adam Bennett. Adam, how's it been?
Well, Mia, so far today, more than 160,000 voters have cast their ballot in Harris County, and the polls are still open nearly another 2 hours. Now, that includes some voters we caught up with this morning in the North Houston Acres Homes neighborhood. They actually rode up to the polls on horseback. Right behind them, Mayor Sylvester Turner and Harris County Clerk Chris Hollins. They promised Houstonians today they could make their voices heard without fear of intimidation, harassment, or suppression.
For the people who marched, demonstrated, and protest, seeking reforms, this is your time to exercise your right to vote. And don't say people are going to do what they're going to do anyway. They will certainly do it if you don't exercise your right to vote.
Registered voters in Harris County can go to any of the 800 plus polling places. It is actually the first presidential election that voters in this county are not limited to just their precinct. So if you're registered, you do have until 7 to get to the polls, and as long as you are in line by that time, you can cast your ballot. Mia?
Good to know, and a good reminder for any last-minute voters. Adam Bennett, thank you. Now to Fort Bend County with another first. The county is the first in Texas to surpass 70% voter turnout, shattering all previous records. So far today, more than 21,000 people have cast their ballots. That's pushed the total number of votes made in the 2020 election to more than 361,000. But officials say the final tally can climb even higher if registered voters get out to the polls.
But still, around 130,000+ people are not voted in Fort Bend County. They are registered voters. And so if that is you, please go out and exercise your right.
Earlier today, Fort Bend County confirmed a few of its polling locations had delays, but nothing since then. Close to 14,000 Fort Bend residents had voted by lunchtime. Officials hope to hit 50,000 today. Of course, the biggest prize on the line is the race for the White House, but there are several other races to watch right here in Texas. Senator John Cornyn is taking on Democratic challenger M.J. Hagar in the Senate race. The District 22 race between Fort Bend County Sheriff Troy Nehls and Shree Preston Cole Carney also has a lot of eyes on it. Republican challenger Wesley Hunt takes on Republican incumbent Lizzie Fletcher in the U.S. House District 7 race. And Democratic challenger Seema Lajavardian takes on Republican incumbent Dan Crenshaw in the U.S. House District 2 race. KHOU stands for Houston. We also stand for journalism and reporting you can trust. I want to be transparent about how we are calling elections tonight. We'll be telling you every time the Associated Press, or AP, calls a race. Stephanie Whitfield explains how AP will declare winners in more than 7,000 races.
There's so much riding on the results of the election, and the Associated Press has a complex formula, factoring in a lot of data to determine when and when not to declare winners. Here are a few scenarios you'll likely see play out. If a candidate is winning by a landslide, AP will call a race as soon as polls close. Then, there are closely contested races. Analysts will focus on statewide races, studying votes county by county. They'll consider early voting, mail-in votes, how many ballots have been counted, and that area's history. The goal is to answer this question: can the trailing candidate catch up with the leader? If the answer is no, the race will be called. A race may be too close to call if the margin between the top two candidates is less than half a percentage point. For the U.S. House, AP won't call a race if it's within 1,000 votes. For state legislature, it's too close to call if the margin is less than 2 percentage points or 100 votes. The last scenario involves recounts. Several states require recounts in races that fall below a certain margin. In other states, candidates can request recounts. In either case, AP will not call that race if there's a chance for a recount. The exception? If a candidate publicly concedes the election. Stephanie Whitfield, KHOU 11 News.
Now remember, at any time tonight, you can also text the word RESULT to 713-526-1111, and we'll send you a link on election results right to your phone.